Hello, boys and girls. It's Cooberry time. Believing she had met her match, Annika pointed her own wand directly up.
You haven't got the best of me yet,
she howled. In a sudden puff of acrid smoke, she disappeared entirely. We scared her off. Can you believe it? We did it! Bernie cried. You got the wand, right? Wait, JJ said, looking around for Simon. While they had defeated the evil Annika, he was fairly certain she had left her sidekick behind. JJ's eyes quickly found the serpent flattened against the wall, his eyes betraying the horror of what had just happened. Annika had left without him, leaving him without any magical powers at all. What was worse, she had left him in the presence of two powerful wizards. Simon looked slowly from JJ to Bernie to the amulet on the ground, just out of his reach. He considered lunging for it, finding his mistress wherever she had disappeared to and presenting it to her. Perhaps, after all these years, she would finally see what he was capable of. Bernie pointed his wand at Simon. Bernie, no! JJ strode forward and picked the amulet up off the ground. He felt sorry for the serpent, who knew how long he had been serving Annika, only to be left behind like garbage. Leave him alone. Before JJ could change his mind, Simon disappeared into a crack in the wall. JJ grinned, so happy he barely even felt the burning in his right ear. That's more like it. But we don't celebrate until we've given these back to their rightful owner. He held up Devlin's wand and the amulet. Let's go! JJ and Bernie were exhilarated by their triumph and exhausted beyond belief by the time Devlin's cave came into view. As Bernie had said, Devlin's lair was not a very long distance from Annika's. JJ's weary legs gave out as they crossed the threshold of the cave. He sank to the ground, thinking he might never get up. Bernie sat down next to JJ and put a brotherly arm around his shoulder, nodding to the corner where the great wizard dozed peacefully. You think he missed us? Bernie joked. At the sound of intruders, Devlin shook himself awake and raised his walking stick like an enormous wand. Who's there? Someone who knows that's just a walking stick, JJ chuckled. We're back! Devlin blinked himself awake and beamed at the sight of Bernie and JJ. They were perhaps a little worse for wear, but obviously well. My boys! Bernie rushed forward. I'm sorry I left without your permission, he began. None of that. Devlin held up his paw to silence Bernie. Did you bring back my wand? JJ stepped forward and held out the cool blue wand. In one piece even, he said. Bernie was an enormous help. Of course he was. Devlin was quiet for a moment. He took the wand and stroked it lovingly like a long-lost child. He gazed deeply into JJ's eyes. I cannot thank you enough, my dear boy. You have made me a great wizard once more. Devlin pointed the blue wand at his injured leg and muttered something JJ could barely hear. Before their eyes, the withered, twisted leg grew straight and strong. Devlin stood up and stretched, taking a few practice steps. That feels good, he boomed. And dare I ask, did you retrieve the amulet? JJ started to respond, but Devlin held up his paw again. I should say, even if you didn't, I am eternally grateful to have my old dear wand back in my own possession. I will find a way to deal with Annika. This time JJ silenced Devlin. I don't think that will be necessary. JJ pulled the amulet from his pocket and held it out to the great wizard. He was glad to no longer be in charge of such a powerful object. That's all for today. I'll see you next time.